We are, as promised. It is Worthwhile Wednesday, and I am Melissa Knowles. Welcome to Worthwhile. This is my channel on YouTube. Oh, I can't believe I'm even saying that. So, this is the very first Worthwhile Wednesday. It is my hope that we are able to build community together, a natural hair community, a mom community. I'm really open to whatever we want this to be, but I would love to regularly, and by regularly I mean weekly, every Wednesday, have a little time together where we get to know each other a little bit and we talk about whatever is on our minds. So, because this is the very first Worthwhile episode live, I'm going to tell you about me. One, because, well, I'm the only person here right now. And two, because I just think that's only fair. I can't assume that people know me or have any familiarity with who I am or what I do. So if you are brand new here, hi, welcome. My name is Melissa Knowles. I was a broadcaster for more than 20 years, and I've been all over the world covering all kinds of different events. My areas of expertise are entertainment news, pop culture, and used to be sports. I don't really follow sports as much as I used to back in the day. I am originally from Texas. I grew up in rural East Texas for the first 5 years of my life. And then I moved to Houston, Texas, which is what I call my hometown. I decided to pursue a career in broadcast journalism. And I started that when I was in college at SMU. Go Mustangs. These are our pony ears. Every Texas school has a hand signal. Don't ask me why, but we do. It's just a thing. I feel like I should move the microphone down, like I'm really looking up at y'all. And I say y'all, and I'm the only one here. So, what I'd love to talk about today is my journey as a journalist, making it to live television and making it to my dream job, and then maintaining that dream until I decided I wanted to do something different. So, full disclosure, I am 43 years old. Lord, even saying that out loud is a lot. It's a lot for me to even hear it. It took me getting into my 40s to realize that I wanted something other than what I had, a life other than what I was living, because I no longer felt fulfilled in what I was doing every single day. Oh, there's two people here. Hi, Amuthan Kumar, or is it Amuthan Kumar? I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you so much for being here. Fardeen Ansari, hello. Thank you for being here. So this is my very first live. Oh my gosh, there's 10 people here. Hey y'all. Hi. Salesman for life, bruh. What's up? He said hello. I was saying hello right back at you. So I don't know if y'all know this. This is my very first live on YouTube. Not my first time being live. I was a news anchor for more than 20 years. Fardeen wants to know, where am I from? Salesman for life, bruh, says, what's up? Amuthan Kumar, yes, are spelled my name correctly. So where am I from? I am originally from Houston, Texas. Where am I coming from right now today? Atlanta, Georgia. That's right. I live in Atlanta. I've lived in Atlanta now for about 11 years, but I was born and raised in Texas. I go back as often as I can to see the majority of my family. So as I was saying, the reason that I decided to start my YouTube channel was wanting to continue telling stories, but telling stories that were directly impactful to my life, and to, oh my gosh, somebody just gave me $1.99. That's so sweet. Salesman bruh for life. What? I mean, salesman for life, bruh. That is the sweetest. You know, you're the very first person to ever gift me money for going live. That's generous. I really appreciate you. Do I give it a heart? Y'all, this is my first time, so I don't know what I should be doing and what. There's no filter on. Should I have a filter on? Oh, that's right. You could do green screen and show y'all clips and things. Oh, I'm gonna get good at this. Yeah, bruh. Salesman for life, bruh. Really, this is the first time. So I'm not scared of being live. Like, I think a lot of people have a hard time. I don't have a filter on. I promise. There is no filter. If I got up really close, you could tell that I really don't have a filter because I was having some breakouts. Look, see, there's a breakout. Look how close I am. There's no filter. This is just what I look like. It's your birthday. Welcome, Carter Pattison. Happy birthday to you. Oh, that was meant to be a compliment. I'm slow. See? See there? See there? I'm going to try to do this every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. That's the goal. I've only been live now for 5 minutes. Let me tell you this. So, news anchor for the majority of my career, traveled around the world. I got to cover Super Bowls. By the way, you can ask me anything. I may answer you. You never know. But I got to go to the Super Bowl. You want me to sing? I'm not a singer. I'm not a singer. Um, and if I were going to sing, it would probably be happy birthday to Carter Pattison. Happy birthday to ya. See, salesman for life, bro. You wish I didn't sing. Oh, it wasn't you who said that. It was Carter who said to sing. Really? On command? You're welcome. Happy birthday, Carter. I really do hope you have a wonderful birthday. I think birthdays are so special. Birthdays are so special because, well, at least for me now, it's not just serves as a reminder of getting older, but it's the fact that you have an opportunity to live an entirely new year, that you have an opportunity to be blessed enough to, I don't know, just still exist in the world and really live if that's something that you want to do. You got 5 PS. You got a PS5? Is that no, wait, is that Carter, don't be mad. I don't know anything about video games. I don't. I haven't played. Well, that's actually not true. I shouldn't say that. My son has a video game console downstairs. I couldn't tell you what it is. I have no idea what it is. I think it's a PlayStation. Sure. He's 6, so he doesn't really know games yet. So we haven't really had to get him anything that's spectacular yet because he hasn't asked for it. So, of the three of you who are here right now, I appreciate you so much. Please throw questions in the comment section and I will be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities. The reason that I decided to start my YouTube channel was because I felt like I needed a space where I could tell the stories that are most impactful in my community. And by my community, I mean a community of Black women, Black moms. And I wanted to, and I will be and continue to do, building a community of support for other Black moms and for the natural hair community. Y'all, I always had to wear my hair a certain way since I was a little girl. My mom gave me my first relaxer. For those of you who do not know what a relaxer is, I had my hair straightened, chemically straightened, from the age of 5 until I was 42. And I'm 43 now. So that goes to show you my entire life, it feels like. And I just got sick of always having to maintain this perfect straight hair. It meant I couldn't work out too hard, couldn't go swimming. I know how to swim, but couldn't like do a lot of the things that I enjoy for living my life. And I allowed my hair to dictate how I live my life. And for years, I'd been saying, I'm going to cut it all off someday. I'm going to cut it all off someday. I really want to see my natural texture someday. And now I see my natural texture. I mean, whenever I don't have braids in, I see my natural texture all the time. And I really love it. And I look in the mirror and I go, dang, this whole time, girl, this whole time. I used to admire when I saw other women who had really beautiful hair. And now that, I'm existing in a space where my hair is in its natural state every day, I like. So I started this YouTube channel and I decided to call it Worthwhile. You see that? Worthwhile. How did I come up with the name Worthwhile? I'm glad you asked. I came up with the name Worthwhile one day while I was in a dark room. I was on a bike, an indoor spinning class, Soul Cycle, and we were toward the end of the ride. And I remember the instructor saying, you came here today. You chose to be here today. So be here today, right now, in this moment. Give it your all. You chose to get, and it was an early class, like early in the morning, like probably 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. You chose to be here today. Make it worth your while. If you're going to be here, make it worthwhile. And I thought, oh my gosh, y'all, it felt like, so when you watch in movies, like an alien abducting somebody and there's this bing light that like draws them up by their chest and they're like, oh, like floating in the air up to this alien spacecraft or whatever. That's what it felt like, except it felt divine. It felt like God was speaking to me right there in that moment saying, worthwhile. One, you need to be living a life that you find worthwhile. And two, make it all worthwhile. In fact, name your YouTube channel Worthwhile. Because I was just going to name it my name, Melissa Knowles. Like a lot of people just name it their own name, and my name is there, but I just thought Worthwhile. And then everything started kind of falling into place for me when it comes to the name and the branding. Uh-oh, Carter, please tell me. Carter, you're scaring me. Carter's saying in the comments, I have to tell you something. Well, tell me. Uh-oh, Carter. What is it? Okay. You know what I realized? I do not have my. Oh, I don't know how far this lets me go. I plugged this in because I thought that this might give you guys a better audio experience. Oh my gosh, I think AI is talking. Your voice is so beautiful. Well, Biplab Kumar Agasti, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Uh, Sorry, I'm reacting to Carter Pattison. Thank you for saying that. No, there is no AI. This is just how I sound. I was a news anchor for a long time. That's why my voice sounds this way. It's not your birthday, Carter. See, and I never would have known, but thank you for telling me the truth. See, I just put my mommy hat on. You just wanted a shout out. You could have just said that then, bruh. Just say that. Just say what's up. But here's what I'll say. I would have said what's up to you anyway. I will always say what's up to people when they join my live because you don't have to be here. You could be anywhere, but you decided in this moment to like be here with a stranger. So yeah, it's all good. So Carter, there's your shout out, your second or third shout out. I really want to put some water in my diffuser back here. I've gotten into the habit of making sure it always smells really good in my office so that it feels like a very inviting space to be in. Because what I'm learning as an entrepreneur, just the motivation it takes daily to show up and do the work, because I'm in my house. So we're in my house right now, but I have a dedicated office space, which is beautiful, which I'm very glad. By the way, does that plant look real? Does it? Y'all tell me. One for real, two for no. I mean, one for yes, real, two for no, it doesn't look real. Oh, Carter, see, now you're trying to butter me up, Carter. Tell me that I have a beautiful voice. That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna put some water over here. I never do this from way over here. I don't even know if y'all can hear me right now. And what is it with diffusers and you only being able to put a very little bit of water in them? Have you noticed that? They just want you constantly refilling your diffuser, constantly refilling it. Your voice is beautiful. I already read that one. But it's my sister's birthday on November 17th. November 17th. We're in March. It's March Madness, by the way. My husband's team, Maryland, made it to the Sweet 16. He is through the roof. Do you hear me? He is so excited about the Terps. My school didn't even make the tournament. My husband is from New Jersey and he always says tournament. And I'm like, dude, who says that? Tournament? It's tournament. But I think it's just the dialect from where I'm originally from. So most of the time, what you're going to find on Worthwhile is stories about Black women, stories about Black moms, and stories about my family and me. My pillars on my channel are family, fitness, and fashion. I love clothes and getting dressed up. So you're going to see me posting that. You'll see a lot of hair content, because hair is like, I mean, it's your crown and glory, right? And I'm just like really getting to know my hair, like discovering my own hair texture. I'm gonna take these headphones off for just a second so you can like really see it. Look, I mean, I think this is what they call a TWA, teeny weeny afro. Is that what the A stands for? But I didn't do, look at this, y'all. I didn't do anything to my hair last night. I mean, I wore a bonnet, right? And it was still damp. It was damp when I went to bed. But I woke up and I was like, I don't know what's going to be up under this bonnet. Ew, Carter, that's not very nice. If y'all are reading Carter's comments right now, I'm not going to read that one out loud. That's not nice, Carter. Let's be nice to each other, okay? Let's be nice. You can put people in timeout, Carter. I just saw that. I didn't even know you could put somebody in timeout. I don't want to be somebody's mom on here. Let's just be nice to each other. Let's just do that. How about that? what was I going to say? Oh, so the most recent episode on my show, on my channel, on Worthwhile, is about me seeing my hair 6 months after my big chop. So, full disclosure, I like to rock braids a lot. And only because, and not only, but I wasn't allowed to get braids when I was a little girl. I was not allowed to get braids. My mom would be like, "Oh, Melissa, that is not your look. Oh, Melissa, that is not becoming." I'm like, "Not becoming," but I had all these girls at school who got to get their hair braided all the time. And how much easier I thought that would have been, because here I am, a child wanting to run and play and jump and get my hair wet and sweat and all those things. And I had to be so restrictive with my own decisions about how I lived my life. And I just became very accustomed to that. Carter, I really appreciate you subscribing and liking. I really do. Everybody who's here, all five of you, there were eight, but three people just left. So I appreciate everybody who's here. But I remember all the way back then, all the way back then. And it's funny, I've been in therapy now for 3 years, going on 3.5 years, and I'm so grateful. I wish mental health were in therapy were accessible to everyone. It should be, because it is so helpful to have someone to help you think through and work through a lot of what's in your head, and help you understand yourself more and understand where you came from and where you're going. And I feel so fortunate that I live in such abundance that I am able to afford regular therapy. I do wish everybody had that same access. Everyone should have that same access. So, where was I telling? What was I telling you guys about? Oh, okay. So I chose a career that dictated me moving all or living all over the country. And hi, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. What you said? Really, I can't imagine that. You can't imagine what? What can't you imagine? Please tell me, because I really do want to know. But so I had grown so accustomed to my hair dictating a lot of the decisions that I made about how I lived my life, that seemed perfectly fine as I continued to grow up and move through adolescence and go to college. Gosh, I did so much damage to my hair in college. Oh my gosh. Dorm room relaxers. Oh my gosh, y'all. Dorm room relaxers. My hair was breaking off. I was definitely doing them way too often. But I was just stuck in this pattern of trying to maintain super straight hair from the root. And if you see my hair right now, again, I did not do anything to my hair last night. There's some leave-in in here. Oh, it's so soft. Some leave-in conditioner, and then this morning I kind of combed my edges down. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to lay my edges. Girl, you know how to lay your edges? Oh, therapy. You're thinking about trying it. Oh, I highly encourage you to try it. I really encourage you, because here's what it was for me. I kept thinking, and Sonia, I'm talking directly to you right now. I kept saying, like, how is a stranger gonna help me? They don't know me. So I'm gonna tell you my whole life, and then you're gonna what, like break it down or like break me down? Like, you don't even know me like that. And part of it was that approach, having that mindset going into it, because I didn't know anyone in my immediate family who regularly went to therapy. I saw you, girl. I know. And I didn't have anybody who regularly went to therapy. However, comma, my husband had been in therapy years, maybe a decade before. And and this was during the pandemic, he kept saying to me, "Honey, I really think you should get a therapist." Because here I was, a news anchor by day, early in the morning. So I would get up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to be camera ready, from our living room, because it was the pandemic and we weren't going into the studio for the first few months of it, and have a sleeping child right up there, and they're coming to me live, in my living room giving news. Meanwhile, the world is falling apart outside my door, and I'm pretending like there's entertainment news. Nobody wants to be entertained right now. The world is falling apart all around us. But I had to find a way to compartmentalize all this sadness and trauma, and devastation that I was seeing, because even though my area of expertise was entertainment and sometimes sports, you when you work at an international news organization, the requirement for what you know, or at least are well versed in, um, is exponential. You're seeing all of these devastating things come into your inbox, right? But then I got to twist that and focus on something that's entertaining that's happening, right? In Hollywood or in the world. And while that has its place, it was really hard to compartmentalize all that. And then my husband got sick during the pandemic. And then our son stopped sleeping through the night. And then I had family members dying. I mean, it was so overwhelming to the point where I would just be like a zombie. I was a zombie. Sleepless nights, waking up in cold sweats, crying, all of that, right? And it wasn't helpful to try to talk to family members really because they were experiencing the same thing and they were not an independent thought or an independent thinker. They were people who knew me. I needed someone who could be objective. I needed someone who could see me and I needed someone who I could see myself in. I think, Sonia, that is really at the heart of it because I had seen a therapist kind of off and on, and by off and on I mean maybe 2 or 3 times, inconsistently, sporadically, and it was someone who they offered through my employer, right? So you got like 6 free sessions or something a year. And I was like, oh, look, that's like one of therapy. No, it isn't. Sure, that's someone to talk to, but also your company's paying them. So I would still be careful with what I would say to them. How I found my therapist, because I think that this was such a huge shift for me. First, I decided I'm ready for therapy. I remember like thinking, okay, I'm ready. I need somebody after my husband had just been kind of, he's not a pusher, but then pusher, he was just very like, honey, I just think this could help. I think this help. And this was over the course of several months. I finally said, okay, I'm open to it. I'm ready to, and then maybe a week or two later, okay, I need it. I'm ready to give it a try. Where should I start looking? Right. So the first place you look is I guess if you have insurance, through your insurer, who or through your provider, like who's in their list, right? Okay, sure. But then you got to filter. You have to filter. To me, this was so important. I don't care what service you go through. For me, as a Black woman, I knew I needed my therapist to be another Black woman. Oh, I keep hitting the microphone. I knew I needed my therapist to be another Black woman. And I'm going to tell you why. And you probably already know why, Sonia. I needed my therapist to be someone who looked like me, who understood what it was like to live life in my shoes. I needed someone who I didn't have to explain microaggressions to. I needed someone who understood what a relaxer was, what natural hair was, that I wouldn't have to explain everything about who I am as a Black woman to them. Like I needed someone who could see me, who could really see me. And that is exactly what I got. That is exactly what I got. I found my therapist through therapyforblackgirls.com. Obviously, this is not a sponsored live. I'm just telling you where I found mine. And I knew immediately. And I was very fortunate in that the very first therapist I called, one, was accepting new patients or new clients, and two, fit my filters. So I would suggest when you decide you are ready for regular therapy, and I was going once a week for those first couple of years. And then now I go every couple of weeks, except for sometimes when I feel like I need it every week. It's medicine. It's medicine for my heart, my soul, for my mind. I'm a different person. I am a different person. What is it? What do you mean? Oh, something in my eye, y'all. What is it? But so what I want to say, Sonia, if you're not already subscribed, and I hope that you are, tell me more about you. Tell me more about yourself. Where are you in the world? Can everybody drop where they are right now in the world? I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to have this live go for an hour, just FYI. And my goal is to do this every Wednesday. I call it Worthwhile Wednesday. Oh, you're in that H-Town though? I'm from Houston. See, that's how you know. See how I broke into my you from that H-Town? Like I'm from Houston. I haven't lived in Houston in a very long time though. But every time I come home, I'm like, oh girl, see, Houston is my heart and soul. And growing up in Houston was such a blessing. And I see it now more than I could see it then. Like, how could I have appreciated it then? Girl, you know what I was craving the other day? And so I don't know how old you are, and I don't know if you eat like me, but girl, I need some boudin. I need some boudin. Do you hear me? Me and my mom, listen to me. I'm so country. Why did we used to go? Yes, I'm from Houston, girl. Uh, my mom and I, after church on Sundays, after Mass, 'cause I was raised Catholic. That's a whole nother discussion for another time. Um, there would be this man, or was it a woman? I don't even remember who it was. I just remember we used to buy boudin out of the trunk of these people's car. After Mass, it wasn't just like in their trunk of the car. It was in a cooler in the trunk, right? And it was still hot, like they and wrapped in like whatever. It was delicious, and I miss that boudin. I miss that boudin, and I miss Houstonians. Houston has its own flavor, and people are always trying to talk about how Atlanta's just like Houston. No, it's not. No, it's not. I love Atlanta. Atlanta is Atlanta. Atlanta is Atlanta. But Houston is my heart and soul, and it always will be. I will always be a Houstonian. I will always be a Houstonian. Don't play about. I don't play about my H town like that. Like don't. And every time I take Beckham back, Beckham, my son, he's 6. Um, they're very different. Yeah, so yeah, they're very different. My son is always like, "Mommy, can we move here?" He says that because that's where like my sister, one of my older sisters lives there, and I have lots of family still in Houston, and so my son's always like, "Oh, mommy, can we move here? I want to live in Houston." I'm like, "Look, I do too. I would love to live close to family. You know how much easier that would make my life? I might have had another child if I lived close to family, but when you are by yourself, like that's what I want these discussions to be about. That is what I want. On Worthwhile Wednesdays, I want to provide a space, a community, a village for other Black moms and other Black women to really freely be themselves. That's what I want. And that's what I'm building. And it's scary. This is not easy to do. Like, I am running my own channel. And I've always had, and not even realized it until here recently, the cushion of support of a corporate structure, to help me do all the things. So, like, to set up the lights, to set up the audio, to set up it all. And so all I have to do is show up and be me. And I mean, I can be myself at any point, because I am always being myself. But there is something really special, something really liberating that happens to you when you start from scratch. And for me, that was having my big chop back in August. Y'all, I feel still like that day was just the beginning and like I'm meeting myself for the first time. Oh, Sonia, thank you so much. Oh, you have a little boy too, girl. Oh my gosh. Why didn't anybody tell us it was like this? Why didn't anybody tell us it was like this? I love my child. He is my greatest blessing, and he's also my biggest challenge. Like, and he's a mirror. And it just doesn't stop. No, I feel like nobody told me that. And I love when people are like, "What are you doing this weekend?" People who do not have kids asking someone what they're doing for the weekend. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you why not. You shouldn't ask. Well, you can ask them, but don't expect to get like some like, "Oh, you know what we're gonna do?" Because I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You know what we're gonna do? Even though the rest of the week he struggles to get up really early, he is gonna be up at the crack of dawn both days this weekend. So instead of sleeping in, we're gonna be up early with our son. I'm gonna have to make breakfast, do laundry, clean the house several times. Oh, there's a baseball game. Oh, that's right. I forgot that we have family coming into town. That that is the weekend. That's the weekend. It's just one continuous week. When you're a parent, it just does not stop. And it was a choice. I'm so happy that I made the choice to have my amazing son. It just does not stop. The grind does not stop. That's why Worthwhile Wednesday today, and hopefully every Wednesday moving forward, we have this time for us. I feel like when you schedule the time, when you have it in your calendar, you're more likely to show up for that time. So mark your calendars every Wednesday at 3 p.m. My goal is to go live and have an open discussion, an open dialogue with the Worthwhile community. I consider everybody who is here right now a member of my Worthwhile community, and I'm grateful for you being here. I want to thank you so much for your support. For those of you who are brand new to this space, to my channel, Worthwhile is focused on helping women get unstuck, particularly Black moms get unstuck and find their joy. We get to create the time and space to live the life we want. We just have to decide that we're capable. I never thought of myself as a motivational speaker. I've always been just me. There is something about finally feeling as if you are in full alignment with your purpose that helps you motivate others because you feel like, okay, I'm vibrating at my highest frequency right now. I've always been a giver, and I'm certainly an empath. And my way of contributing to my community is through telling stories, is through building the village that I've always needed. So perhaps it's a bit selfish that the reason that I started all of this is to just really have an impact. Because to me, what success is, the measure of success, is what kind of an impact can you have in your own community that lasts beyond even your own existence. That's the legacy that I'm building here right now with you in this moment. So once again, I want to thank you for being here. So the episode that is up on my channel right now, the latest episode, is all about my 6 months after my big chop. So it's like my check-in, me seeing how much my hair has grown in 6 months, me getting it recolored, me getting a trim, and me just continuing on my natural hair journey. What I will say about my natural hair journey is that every day is still, there's still a lesson to be learned. And I'm going to visit my mom in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to see my grandmother while I'm there as well. And neither of them, well, my mom has seen me. She saw me right after my big chop, and she's seen me since. But she and I have very different hair textures, and she, through no fault of her own, like I don't fault my mom for giving me a relaxer at 5 years old. She didn't know how to manage my hair, and there were not a lot of options back then. There certainly weren't as many options back then as there are now when it comes to black hair care and natural hair care. And if there were, we didn't know about them. I don't remember Camille Rose, which is one of my favorite brands, existing back when I was a little girl. My mom just wanted me to be able to assimilate, I guess, and to be able to be in any space and feel like I belong there. And she felt that at the time that the best way was to, at least she could control my hair, right? And in order to maintain control over my hair, she chose to put a relaxer in it. Again, I don't fault my mom for doing that. I don't even fault me for choosing to continue that because it felt like that was what I wanted at the time, until I didn't, until I decided that I wanted something different, until I decided that I wanted to meet the real me. As God made me, the way my hair grows from my scalp, that's what I wanted. And that's who I am now. So last night, so Tuesdays are my wash days typically because I don't know why I chose Tuesday. I don't know. But Tuesdays are my wash day. So before I had gotten my 6 month growth check update, that's in my most recent video, I had braids because I love to rock braids. That's what I was telling y'all earlier. And I didn't really get to rock braids. Not really. I did not at all get to have braids when I was growing up. My mom did not let me get braids. Talk about that next time. But because of that, now that I'm exploring all of that, I'm exploring my natural hair and I'm being a lot more fearless when it comes to my hair in general. I'm not afraid to like try new looks and try new things. I had a couple of wigs made. Actually, how many do I have now? I have 3 custom units that I had made. Okay. And that was before my big chop, in anticipation that I may not like it. I always have a contingency plan and I anticipate like 3 steps ahead all the time. I think I get that from my parents. Both of my parents are lawyers. So perhaps that's why I'm always anticipating. Oh, thank you. Or you said I love natural hair. I love natural hair now too. I used to think when people were talking about natural hair, Sonia, that they were saying that they only like natural hair. Because I will say that it's not that I only love my natural hair. I love my natural hair and I love what my hair is capable of. And by the way, this is 6 months. And when I first cut it, I mean, it was down. You need to cut it. I mean, it was short. It was a big chop. It was short. But now it's already here. And like, look, look how that stuck up. And the thing about it is, I didn't go through and form these curls and try to make them all perfect or whatever. There's a little frizz here and there. Doesn't matter. I don't. I'm happy with my hair as it is and as it grows from my head now. I'm happier now than I've ever been in my entire life. My entire life. Because I'm finally owning my own time, for one. I'm telling the stories that I want to tell that are having a real impact in my community. And I am putting out stories that I really care about. We did this episode like a month ago, and we had high tea at this local tea shop in Atlanta. Y'all, it's black owned. This mom and daughter duo own it. And it's called The Dirty Tea here in Atlanta. You can watch the episode on my channel right now on Worthwhile Wednesday. Woo, 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 Worthwhile Wednesday. And we had like a proper English tea service with the cute little sandwiches and the macaroons. Is that how you call them? Is that what they're called? Macaroons? Yeah. And like beautiful little tea service. Oh, it was just wonderful. But we, I mean, two other moms and I, we sipped the tea while we spilled the tea on the reality of motherhood. Oh my gosh. It was so much fun and so eye-opening. You never realize how many things that you have in common with other moms and things you don't until you just actually have the conversation. Also, while part of the conversation was about us being moms and our kids, we also just talked about us as women, us as black women living in America, living in 2025 as a black woman and raising black sons right now. And the impact of everything that's happening all around us on our own mental health, on our kids' mental health, and figuring out ways where we can support each other. And to me, that is the ultimate. That is what it is all about. How can we as a community support each other and make sure that we are the village that we need? If you're not doing that, then what is your purpose? I know a lot of people are like, well, I got to make sure I have enough money. I got to do that. Yeah, of course you do. We have to sustain ourselves. Yeah, we have to work to sustain ourselves. And because two things can be true at the same time, as my therapist is always saying. And you have to find a place for your joy. You have to make sure that your joy is your default setting. Joy is your constant companion and your carry on. I have this soul cycle instructor who you'll hear me quoting all the time. His name is Jadis. It was in Jadis's class that I came up with the name for my YouTube channel, Worthwhile Wednesday. I'm going to keep saying it till it catches on. And Jadis is all about mindset and growth. And he'll say things in class where I'm just like, wow. He's like, have you ever just sat there and decided to bask in your aliveness? Bask in it. You're alive. You're alive. Act like it, right? Like, you're alive and act like it, y'all. And the thing about it is, how often do you think about being alive? Do you think about being alive or are you just existing? But when you think about it, when it becomes a thought right here, like, I'm alive, I can do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want. I can be whoever I want. I can help whoever I want because I'm all about that. I'm all about maximizing my joy, and in doing so I can help other people maximize their joy. I can help other moms get unstuck and feeling like I'm just constantly in this juggling act of kids schedules and dishes and dirty clothes, and I mean just all the demands of it all of living. But I can decide that I am capable of sprinkling some joy in there, you know? That's the whole goal, Sonia. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. And it's just a matter of getting to the space when you're ready for it. But like with anything, with therapy, with exercise, I am not the kind of person who is going to push, although my husband may say differently. When it comes to, you should go to the gym, you should go to the gym. I will just tell you how I feel after I have gone. I will just tell you what it does for me. And then you can, I mean, I post lots of videos where you can see all of me, sometimes just my hair, but a lot of times you can see my whole body and you can see that like I hits the gym, hunty, okay? But it's not just, and I mean, vanity's sake, a little bit. I care about how my clothes fit and how I look in them, but mostly it's for the health of my body and my mind because they are connected. I know that after I've gone to the gym, I always feel really good. I feel strong. I feel powerful. I feel abundant with energy. After having expended so much energy in that class, I still feel very energized. And then I want to like pass that energy on throughout the rest of my day. And you've got that cortisone going, all those positive vibes all up in here. Listen to me, all up in here. And so then you want to continue that. And I am just chasing that feeling. And I want other people to have that same experience of feeling so good in their bodies, whatever the shape of your body is in, that you feel good in your body and you feel like you are maximizing the joy in your life. Because if you're not doing that, what are you doing? What are you doing if you're not looking to maximize your joy? Yes, we all have obligations, right? We all have things we have to do that we don't want to do. I'll tell you one of mine right now. I hate doing the dishes. I put it off all the time. There's a sink full of dirty dishes. Now, there weren't overnight because I don't do that. No dishes in the sink overnight. However, there were dishes in there from this morning and something I think my husband put in there. Would my husband eventually come home and do the dishes? Yes. So could I just wait for him? Yes, but I don't like clutter. So I'm going to do them. And then I had to tell myself recently when I was complaining, not out loud, maybe a little huff and puff, but mostly in my head, like, I hate doing these dishes. I don't know why I do these dishes, so, like a kid. And then I thought, the reason these dishes are dirty is because we had food. The reason these dishes are in the sink is because there was food to nourish us. There's that, right? So it's the reframing of it all. Chef Gurel, thank you. I love a man of his word. Thank you so much for being here. By the way, I saw your sliders. You made me want to make those sliders. I was like, dang, I don't have the ingredients for those sliders. I don't have to make those. They look like a crowd pleaser. But you have to get to a place where you're reframing some of your thoughts and interrupting your own thought process. And that's what I do when it comes to the dishes. I'm going to sit here and do these dishes because one, I have the soap to wash them. I've got the clean running water to wash these dishes. And I had the food to eat to make these dishes dirty. So those are three things to be grateful for. So if you're starting with gratitude and joy is your default setting, it becomes easier to put into practice that reframing of your circumstances. It becomes easier to have a heart of gratitude or an attitude of gratitude about even things that aren't the most fun because you know what led you there or where they're leading you to. And I think that that's really important if you're going to have a growth mindset. I love that this is backwards right here. Good day. It is a good day. It's a good day to have a good day. That's something that Jada says sometimes in class as well. I have his class tomorrow morning at 7. So I get asked all the time, how in the world do I get up early to go to these spin classes? One, it goes back to my joy. And to my gratitude. I'm grateful that my body can move in the way that it does in a very intense cardio class for 45 minutes. Two, if I don't go first thing in the morning and start my day off that way, it affects the rest of my day. So I like to get energized first thing in the morning and just hit the ground running. Two, when you're used to getting up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 5 or 5:45, depending on if I'm doing a 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. class, really isn't that hard because you've practiced. Your body has kind of grown accustomed to waking up super, super early. And I feel amazing after I leave class. If you check out my shorts, you will see that I often post some motivational or encouraging words that I heard in class on a short. I didn't do it today because I didn't have class today. I did lift weights today though. That's something else. So how about this? When I talked to y'all about interrupting the thought process, I had to interrupt the thought process in my own head about a year and a half ago because I used to think I couldn't lift weights. I literally thought I'm too skinny to lift weights. And let me take this jacket off so you can see my arms now. But I used to think, oh, there's no way. I can't lift weights. I'd never been able to before. Why would I be able to do it now? I can barely lift the bar. I remember when I was in probably I think 10th or 11th grade, and I was really into running track, and it was a weight room day. This is before everything was as like regimented the way it is now. We just would go out there and run laps and do some sprints and stuff. Anyway, so this was a weight training day and we weren't taking it very seriously, but I am on the bench and I have a spot and they're like, "Okay, ready?" And I'm like, "Yes." And there's nothing on it. It's just the barbell. And I'm like, yeah, like y'all, when I tell you I was struggling, I was, yeah. trying to lift the bar and couldn't do it. That was forever in my mind that I can't lift weights because I couldn't lift weights. See, living in the past instead of focusing in the right now and staying in the present because that's all you have. And so, since the present is a gift, catch it. Since the present is a gift, I decided to approach it in that way. And I decided to be capable. I knew I was capable of doing other hard things. So why wouldn't I be capable of lifting weights? And I started before I thought I was ready. That was the other thing. That was a big key. So I have a Peloton at home, but I don't really ride the bike that much anymore because the ride is so different from what I do at SoulCycle. And SoulCycle is my primary method of regular fitness. I ride probably 3 or 4 times a week. I do, however, use the app that comes with Peloton. And in that app, you have a variety of exercises and trainers that you can do. Yoga, meditation, which I regularly do. And I will actually do some yoga tonight, but practice yoga tonight before I go to bed since I have an early class at SoulCycle tomorrow. But I was doing a weight training class. And I remember Robin Arzon, who is one of the trainers, and she's one of the like OG trainers, said, you need to be lifting heavier weights. I was like, is she, right? Are you talking to me? She's like, I'm talking to you. You need to be lifting heavier weights. If you have taken this class, and it was one of those like 10 minutes arms and light weights class, if you have taken this class more than once, you are ready to try heavier weights. Start before you think you're ready. And I was like, is she? It's like, you're not too old. It's not too late. This is the time. Go for it. And so I was like, okay. And so the very next day, I decided to just try a more challenging, heavier weight training class. And it kicked my butt. But I was hungry for more. And then I started to see some look. Now, don't y'all, you can laugh. I'm not gonna hear you. But look, I was like, wait a minute. I was seeing definition, and then before I knew it, I was lifting heavier weights and enjoying it and enjoying how my clothes fit, just all the things. I say all of that to say, not to flex, but to say that it is not too late for you to start something new that brings you joy. Lifting weights brings me joy. You're not too old to try something new. I didn't start my natural hair journey until I was 42. And now I'm 43 and I'm loving it. And what's the worst that could happen? You don't like it. You try something new and you don't like it, and you're like, okay, I didn't like that. Give it at least 2 or 3 tries before you completely move on to something else. But at least give it a try. That's what living is. And if we're going to focus on basking in our aliveness, then get to living, y'all. Get to living. I would love to know where other people are from. I know, Sonia, if you're still here, you are joining us from Houston, Texas. I thank you so much. And can I just say, Sonia, you may be the 10th person ever to like compliment me on my natural hair. And every time it hits me differently because I'm so used to somebody commenting or complimenting rather my perfect bob, or my braids or something. So to receive a compliment about my natural hair texture is just like, it warms my heart. It really does. It warms my heart. So y'all, we have about 13 more minutes. I cannot believe I've been talking nonstop for 48 minutes because I did start on time. And I am going to have special guests sometimes. One of my closest friends, in fact, I call him my best friend outside of my husband. My best friend is a guy, and we've been best friends now for 20 something years. And he is also a broadcaster, but he may be on TV right now. um, and he's currently on the news, on national news, and I don't do that anymore. I do this, and then oh yeah, if y'all watch Dish Nation, I will be on Dish Nation tomorrow. Well, we're recording 2 episodes tomorrow, and I am going to rock my natural hair on Dish Nation for the first time, y'all. I'm like low key a little nervous. I've never rocked my natural hair on television, not yet. On national TV, not yet. But I'm excited to do it. It's going to be a really big moment for me, a really, really big moment for me to just be there as 100% myself. Not that I'm not myself when I'm rocking the braids. It's just this is a different, the hair situation. It's just different. It's just different. I don't know. So we have about 11 minutes left. Chef Burrell, are you in Atlanta? I think I saw in your profile that you're in Atlanta. Tell Gary you said hi. Oh, you know what? I don't think Gary is there tomorrow. I think I might be filling in for Gary because I don't think Gary's going to be there tomorrow. I don't think Gary or Brett are going to be there tomorrow. I think it's just Tanner, Headcrack, and me. I'll be the only girl. But they're so fun. Oh my gosh. And they are who you think they are. I love when people are who you think they are, who you've seen on TV, and you're like, they seem like they would be cool. And then they actually are cool. You're like, you know what? You're really not. You're really funny. And they are both really funny. So when we're recording Dish, y'all, it is so hard not to just keep laughing and move on to the next thing. So it's partially scripted, but the jokes that we're saying or the conversations that we're having, those are not scripted. There may be just like a prompt in the teleprompter that reads like, ask Melissa, ask Gary, or Melissa ask Tanner what he thinks, something like that. And so then you ask, and you never know what Tanner, you know who you really don't know Gary. You don't know what Gary's gonna say. And you know Gary is from Port Arthur, by the way. Sonia, Gary is from Port Arthur. He's always talking about, I'm Houston folks. I'm like, not Port Arthur trying to come for us. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. But okay. But Head crack is so cerebral. Sometimes it takes me watching the show when it actually airs to catch all of his jokes. I'm so sincere because sometimes, like, even my husband, when he's watching the show back, he's like, y'all are so funny. How are you still laughing? I'm like, because they're still playing me laughing from the last joke. Like, I'm still laughing and they had to just move on. I can't stop. They're just they're very funny. But I really feel, I will say this. The very first time I did Dish Nation was October 2022. And that was at on the old set in the old studio. I thought I was nervous going on, and I'm not usually nervous going on live TV or taping a segment, unless it's the very first time, just because you're trying to get a feel for like the whole run of the show, the people on the show, the people behind the scenes. You're trying to get a feel for that, and you just don't want to ruffle any feathers. You want to do a really good job. You want to be funny, but you want to be yourself. Like all these things. And I had done Morning Express, so I didn't even mention that the show that I was on for 8.5 years, live television, Monday through Friday, national show, was Morning Express with Robin Meade, and I loved Morning. Oh, knock something down. I loved my job. Sorry, Rocky. Rocky is my dog. If you've been on my channel before, he makes appearances. He's a mix between a Chihuahua and well, he looks mainly Chihuahua. He's all black and he's getting older now, but he's in here in the office keeping me company. Anyway, I was on Morning Express with Robin Meade for all those years and I absolutely loved it. It's just, it was time for something new. It was time to do something else. But October 2022, I had done my shift that morning. So meaning that I'd been up since like 2:30 in the morning, done 4 hours of live TV, maybe even five. I think I maybe had a hit on another show that day too, other than Robin's show. And then a couple hours later, I went across the street to Dish Nation. And I remember how much fun I had. And I felt like for the first time, I was able to tell the kinds of jokes or have the kind of humor, share the kind of humor that I shared off camera, on camera. Feel me? Robin and everybody on the Morning Express team and I had a wonderful relationship, make no mistake. And we had such a family like TV connection that will never be replicated. I absolutely loved it. We all gelled really well. Our shared senses of humor were fantastic. There's something different about being in a space where it's almost all black people having a conversation about pop culture and joking amongst themselves or ourselves. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Oh, Carter, you came back. That's so sweet. Hi, Carter. Welcome back. When I see Gary, though, Sonia, I will tell him you said hi. Tell him you said hi. But I remember leaving Dish and telling my manager, like, that was so much fun. And then when we watched it back, I was like, I hope it translates. Like, I had a good time, but was I a good time? Like, are they going to bring me back? Are they be like, girl, do not come back? Bye. But no, they were like, you were So good. In fact, Sonia, and I'm acting like it's just you and me here. Wait, you guys are both from my home, Houston. No, Gary is from Port Arthur, and he will tell you that. Be like, don't do that. You're from Houston. But if you're from Houston, though, and you say you're from Houston, but you're really from Port Arthur, I mean, I don't have to explain that to you. Um, Carter, you said November 17th was your sister's birthday. Were you trying to say that today is your sister's birthday, but that November 17th is actually your birthday? Anyway, okay, Carter, whoever's birthday it is, hi and happy birthday to you and in your family. But I remember just feeling really at home in that space and really feeling, and by that space I mean Dish Nation, and feeling like, gosh, I hope they bring me back. I hope that I get to do that again because that felt really good. I want more of that. And when we watched it, when it actually aired, I was like, that does translate. I had a good time. It looks like I'm having a good time. I gelled with people. They got my humor. We got each other. That was cool. I hope they bring me back. And shortly thereafter, they did. I think one or two more times, and then I got laid off. Dun dun dun. Cliffhanger. Yeah. Then I got laid off. How do you go live? I go live from that plus button that's in the center of your screen that shows. You could choose draft, shorts, live. I think something else. I'm gonna press this button, see what happens. Oh, it's a green screen. Oh, look, I'll show you guys what I'm always talking about. This is Jadis. Look, that's Jadis right there. Okay, he looks crazy there, and I look a little crazy. This was yesterday morning. Okay, so yesterday morning, we had just finished class, and Jadis, I was like, "Hey, let's take a quick picture." I was in such a funk before class. I need, um, I need a picture just to like document this moment. And so we took that quick picture. Oh, do you want to see a thumbnail for an upcoming episode? This is me. Look at this. I am a product junkie. Do you hear me? A product junkie. And that is what we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks on Worthwhile Wednesday, and how during my natural hair journey, y'all, I am always buying and trying, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with buying and trying. Um, what else did I want to show y'all? I forget that you can do this, y'all. Let's see, my favorites. Oh, okay. Sonia, you're gonna like this. I don't know how long you've been in Houston, but do you see? Look at this. So these are some. Do you see who that is? I don't know if anybody's still here. I'm trying to take that off now. Oh, wait, no, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to. Okay, y'all. I can't believe I did it. My first live. Yes, yes, I know. So Cheryl Swoops and my friend Kimberly Blackwell and that was a picture of us at the CIAA Women's Empowerment Brunch. I MC events. That's something that I do and have done even when I was anchoring regularly. Except now I'm the only one that gets to approve them. I used to have to get people to submit those like a month or two in advance to get them approved at work. But now I'm the boss. I'm the boss of me. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so glad and so thankful and so grateful for every single person who joined my live today. And I just want to say, I hope to see you back here every Wednesday as you're able. And to please tell a friend, share this with other moms, other Black moms specifically, because I know Black women, especially Black moms, we need this. We need this community. We need each other. And the more that we lean into supporting each other, the stronger we will be. Um, yeah, the stronger we will be. And so I encourage you to come back and converse with me in the comments. I love, love, love hearing from y'all. And I love creating a space for us. I love creating a space where we can connect with one another, where we can share what we're going through, share our lived experiences, and where we can continue to motivate and encourage one another. And to help each other find our joy and get unstuck, because you have to make sure that joy is your default setting. I know I've said that before, but I will keep saying it. Make sure that you have a permanent carry on. That's what Jadis would say, of joy, and that joy is your default setting, and that you decide you are capable, period, with anything that it is that you want in your life. If you believe in manifesting, sure, call it that. But once you decide that you are capable of accomplishing, and I'm not just saying this to you, I'm saying it to myself too. When you decide you are capable of living the life and creating the space and the time to live the life you want, that is exactly what you will do. You will find yourself in alignment with your purpose, and you will get to basking in your aliveness. Thank you so much for being here. I will see y'all next time. Bye, Sonia. Bye, everybody.